season, so we'll be working on that, trying to have one great day at a time. Okay, what questions do you have?
John, I mean, you hear a lot of the accolades, the expectations, people saying the best roster in the NFL. How do you take that with, just heightened expectations? How do you even address that with the team, or do you even?
I saw all the other people saying we don't, that we're not this or that or the other. I noticed those articles more than I noticed anybody that says we're good. So I don't know, maybe that's a personal issue. But.
John, what were your early impressions of Jair Alexander? I mean, came in at the very end of the mini camp, but first practice.
I thought he looked good. I mean, he had a heck of a play on the sideline there. So important, both sides of the ball, to make plays on the outside throwing lane, that part of the field. From what we call the red line to the sideline or anything in that area. Games are won and lost in that area. It's your ability to play single high, making plays on either side or attacking single high. So that's something that's going to be a point of emphasis for us. I thought our DBs did a real nice job today.
Coach, could you talk about the plan to rev things up and why you decided to practice in the middle of the afternoon?
Well, we've been doing that for quite a few years now, and most of the games get played in the middle of the afternoon, so it makes the most sense. But also the opportunity to get your guys ready for practice. We found that the guys are more physically prepared for practice with some time to prepare for practice, not early in the morning, so that's what we're doing right now. Hey, you can do it a lot of different ways. We've done it both ways. I don't think it's beat-all, end-all either way, but that's how we're doing it.
Coach, year 3 with Todd Monken, year 2 with Lamar and Derrick together. What are the expectations for their growth as a unit?
Well, we're just trying to have a great day today, and we have a lot of goals in terms of what we're trying to do specifically with our offense. We're trying to get better at 1,000 different things that apply to what we're trying to do, and we're trying to be very intentional about working on the things that are going to apply in games during the season. Practice what we're going to use during the season. That's kind of an advantage probably year 3 going into it, where we have a really good handle on who we are, what our guys are good at, and our identity, if you want to call it that, the type of offense we want to run. So let's get to work on getting good at it, because it's more about being good at what you do than what you do. If we can be great at what we do, then we got a chance to be successful.
John, adding DeAndre Hopkins to a group of pass catchers coming off of great years, Mark said it's going to be really key to be unselfish, and Todd Monken's been hammering that point. What do you kind of see the need for that mentality going in with who you got on the roster?
I mean, it's a team game. You'd like to be able to. I really don't. Wouldn't it be an advantage if the defense doesn't have a real good idea where the ball's going in any given play at any given time, or if you can react to the defense after the ball's snapped, kind of like if you think about warfare, like maybe the Civil War. You got all these lines of battle. Maybe we can attack them where their defense isn't displayed quite as strongly, and we try to do that with every aspect of our defense, personnel being one of those things. If you got guys all across the front that can attack effectively, that's a good thing.
John, you played against Derrick Henry a lot of times, and you've seen him for a long time as an opponent. Now you had him for a year. What's most impressed you about him in the years that you've seen him?
Well, the intangible thing is the work ethic and the attitude, the enthusiasm for the day. I mean, my dad talks about attacking the day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I mean, I see that in him every day. And it's not necessarily in what he says, although he'll have fun. It's what he does, and the way he works at it, and how hard he works to get better, how intentional he is about being the best player he can be. That's his biggest trait, I think.
John, how valuable is it? So it's rare to have that many players out there healthy, to start. You want to try and lock down all the little things to develop chemistry, to have everybody out there from the beginning of camp.
It's important. I mean, it's just we try to work hard at that, and you don't control everything, but we're in a good place with that. We have a couple guys to come back. Jake had a non-football issue with his hand. He had a cut on his hand that's healing, so he'll be back soon, week or so. I think that's really all we've got right now.
When you get the energy of camp and having this full roster, 90 plus out here, and with the expectations knowing what you want to do this season, do you have to tell guys to dial it back, maybe take it step by step, day by day when you have all this happening now?
We do talk about step by step, day by day. We want to have one great day at a time. Then within that, we want to have one great meeting at a time. We want to have one great lifting and conditioning session at a time. The guys like to eat, so we should be able to have one great meal at a time too, Then one period at a time, one series at a time, one play at a time, and then try to finish as strong as we can and be at our best at the end. just be intentional about all those things, and then put that day away and try to do it again the next day.
John, Lamar, I mean, every year he's kind of just gets better and better. I mean, the trajectory keeps going up. Why do you think that? What about Lamar does his game just keep ascending?
Well, I mean, he works really hard at being better, and, can't we all improve? I think probably that position, I mean, there's so much that goes into playing that position. And Lamar's young. He's in his 8th year, yet he's only 28 years old. I think that's pretty rare. So his window to improve is pretty big, but here's a guy that is, first of all, he works really hard. Secondly, he really wants to get better. And he's already great. He's not one of these guys that says, I'm there, I've arrived. He never looks at it that way. He always looks at, what can I do to get better? If there's something that happens on the field, even when it's not quote-unquote his fault, it's his fault in his mind. What can I do to make it right? And I know he's done a good job of communicating that with the team as well, that kind of mindset. So he's growing in every way.
John, the kickers, they were pretty good out there. They, I think, only one miss between the two guys. Obviously, it's early. We'll see how it plays out. But what's your just impressions of what you've seen from them and how that competition will kind of play out here?
Right. I mean, with the kickers, it's a process, and it's not nobody's more process than the kickers. It's probably more like golf than any other sport in terms of process, swing, and replicating that time and time again. Making a good kick. Arnold Palmer used to talk about making a good putt. Did I make a good putt? If I made a good putt, whether it goes in or not is not the point. The point is, if I make a good putt, I'm going to give myself the best chance to be successful. We want our guys to learn how to make a good kick over and over again in every circumstance. So that process goes into, when they're over there on the side, nobody's paying attention to them. When they bring it over to the team period, when they bring it over to a team situation period, like we did the second period today in practice where they had to run on the field, make a kick, as game-like as we can kind of make it now. And then when we take it into the game, replicate the kick every single time. That's what we're chasing with those guys.
How do you approach having 11 rookies this year, especially considering Derrick said not all of them will make the team?
We're approaching it to try to coach every guy as best we can and know that all those guys can help us. And it's not just the draft picks. I think it's also the undrafted free agents are looking really good as well. So you don't really worry about the outcome on that right now. The more good players we have, the better camp we're going to have, the more competition we'll have, the higher caliber every play will be. That'll make our team better.
We do 2 more for John.
John, you visited the White House with your brother. Obviously, it's a divisive political time. In the past, Donald Trump has said denigrating things about Baltimore, including no human being who wants to live there.
Yeah.
As a prominent representative of Baltimore and how do you kind of balance that?
Boy, well, how you frame that question? I would frame the question like, you got a chance to go visit with the president, man. What was that experience like? It was amazing. It was awesome. And I promise you, I root for our president. I want our president to be successful, just like I want my quarterback to be successful, and I want my team to be successful. And it was an amazing experience. It's not often you get invited and you get a chance to do something like that as a family. We were there. My daughter was there. Jim's daughters were there. My mom and dad were there. My mom and President Trump. Just seeing how he treated her was really meaningful. And that's the 4th president. Now Jim met 7. Jim has met 7 presidents, so he's got the lead on me. I think he pointed it out. Did you guys notice that? Right, he's got 7. I got 4. So had a chance to meet President Obama twice. Incredible experience. Had a chance to meet President Biden when he was vice president in Iraq and spent a lot of time with him in Iraq, which was amazing. And then, 24, 25 years old, Jim got invited also to the White House to meet President Reagan because he was a Heisman Trophy candidate. And we got to go as a family, so I met President Reagan, have a picture in my office of that. So those are moments that I definitely cherish, and it means a lot.
John, I wanted to ask about Carson Benson, the rookie.
Yeah.
What did you like from him today?
Can I wait till I see the tape to give you the exact details of it? There he is standing back there. Oh, see, this is set up. No, he's not there. I'm sorry. That's all. I thought I saw him back. Your face, you look a little bit like Carson back there. I don't know yet. We'll see. I know this. He's worked really hard on his strength. I think his lower body strength, but from the day he got in here till now is dramatically improved. He always can move his feet. He can bend, and he's really kind of a physical guy. So didn't see anything bad. Looked good to me. Once the pads come on, we'll know more.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.